single phase AC circuits. So single phase AC circuits by using one single phase generator we have generated something. Okay. So we have to discuss here first equation for generation of alternating induced. How the EMF is generated by using generator. So alternating generation of alternating induced EMF. Okay. So how it is EMF is generated? So we have to discuss. This is generation of EMF. So we have to require some magnetic flux by using the magnetic flux concept. So we have to generate EMF. Okay. So here this is called a conductor. This is called conductor. The conductor is based in a stationary magnetic field. Okay, this is called magnetic field. This is called magnetic field. This is called magnetic field. This direction, north to south. The magnetic field that is called magnetic flux direction is always from north to south. Here north pole and here south pole. The magnetic flux direction here north to south. Here this is called current. This is called conductor on coil. Okay. So one turn. This is called one turn. Still. Okay. And between north and south pole, the conductor is rotating. Okay, that's called wire or loop conductor. This conductor is rotating in between north pole and south pole. The magnetic flux is always from north to south pole. Okay, so here permanent magnets are there. So it is possible to by using field winding, by using one winding, it's possible to generate north pole and south pole. Okay, by using one winding here, that is called field winding. So we are placed in field winding and we have to generate flux. Otherwise, by using permanent magnets. For small motors, permanent magnets are used, but big machines are we have to control the field winding. So we have to. So by using field winding only, we have to generate the field flux. Okay, magnetic field flux can be generated by using field winding. We are using field winding. By using field winding, we have to generate flux. Okay. So this means according to the Faraday's law, rotating conductor, this is called rotating conductor, placed in a stationary magnetic field, experiencing some EMF. Okay. So that is called Faraday's law. So this is rotating conductor. Okay. Conductor is rotating, axis of rotation. So wire, this is called wire. Okay. Or loop conductor. Here, an AC generator using the principle of Faraday's electromagnetic induction law. That is nothing but this rotating conductor placed in a stationary magnetic field. Okay, then EMF is generated. So that is called Faraday's electromagnetic induction law. Or generated. You know, I think you have studied in mid level. So for motor, current carrying conductor placed in a stationary magnetic field, it experiences some force that is called motor. Okay. So motor principle is nothing but current carrying conductor placed in a stationary magnetic field. Okay, this conductor is carries the current, and this is placed in a stationary magnetic field. It experiences some force that is called motor. Motor principle. For generator, rotating conductor, the conductor is rotating, it's placed in a stationary magnetic field. Okay, then EMF is generated because of the flux cutting. The flux is cutting to the conductor. Okay, and then current is generated, and then EMF is generated in this form. The output is EMF is generated. The EMF is nothing but electromagnetic force that is called generally called as a voltage. Okay, output voltage is called EMF. Okay, AC generator uses the principle of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction law. It states that when current carrying conductor cut the magnetic field, then EMF is induced in the conductor. Okay, this is called Faraday's electromagnetic induction law. Inside this magnetic field, a single rectangular loop, that is called conductor, Okay, single rectangular piece of wire. Okay, rotates around the fixed axis, allowing it to cut the magnetic flux at various angles. Okay, so it's rotating, am I right? So rotating 360 degrees. Okay, 360 degrees is rotating. So and we have to find the EMF for a particular degree, particular distance. We have to find the EMF or where the EMF is maximum. Okay, where n is called number of turns of the coil, but here only one coil, so that's called n is equal to 1 only because of only one turn. Okay, if more number of turns are used, so that's called n is there. Okay, we increasing the number of turns, the number of turns are changes. Here only one turn for simplicity for understanding. Only one turn taken. N is called number of turns of the coil. A is called area of coil. This is called area of the coil. Cross-sectional area of the coil. And angular velocity we discussed. It's called rotating. This conductor is rotating. This winding is placed on this shaft. Okay, this is called the shaft. This shaft. The winding is placed. Okay, in third unit we will discuss. So briefly about how it is EMF is generated by using AC machines. Okay, and DC machines and also transformers. And here phi m is called maximum volume of flux. Phi m, that is called Weber's maximum volume of flux in Weber's. Understood? So then study consider when coil is along from this diagram. When coil is along x dash perpendicular to the lines of the flux. Here north pole and south pole, the fluxes are so linking to the so like this. Through the conductors are the flux lines are so like this. North to south. Okay, parallel. Okay, north to south is like this. Okay, the coil is along the x dash, exactly perpendicular to the magnetic flux. Okay, so that is called 90 degrees. So if the magnetic flux is in this direction, there's if the coil is placed exactly 90 degrees, okay, perpendicular to the lines of flux, the flux linkage of the coil is called phi. That means the maximum value of the flux is linking on the conductors. Okay, the maximum value of the flux is links on the conductor. So that's why the flux linkage is the coil is called phi m. When coil is along y dash, if the coil is along the y dash, horizontal, okay, this and then parallel to the lines of the flux. This flux so leaving from north to south pole, so exactly parallel to the this magnetic flux. So that means angle is 0. If it is placed in the coil exactly x dash, that is not 90 degrees. If the coil is placed exactly y dash, that is called 0 degrees or 180 degrees. Okay, the flux linking with the coil is 0. Okay, so there is no flux linking in the conductor. If the conductor is placed exactly parallel to the flux lines, y dash is y dash. So this conductor is exactly placed parallel to the conductor. Then the flux linking with the coil is phi is equal to 0. Okay. If it is coil is placed exactly perpendicular, then flux linking with the coil is called phi m. That is called maximum flux. Phi m is called flux maximum value of flux. When the coil is along with y dash, okay, parallel to the magnetic flux, okay, then flux linking with the coil is 0. Understood? If it is placed perpendicular, then maximum value of flux will be. If it is placed parallel to the magnetic flux, the flux linking with the coil is 0. When the coil is making an angle with respect to the x dash, so like this. Okay, this is a figure representation. When the coil is making with some angle with respect to the x dash, flux linking with the coil is nothing but phi is equal to phi m cos omega t. Understood? So you know well cos 0 maximum. Okay. So for at omega t, theta is equal to omega t is equal to 0. So we will get a maximum value phi is equal to phi. Okay, this is called angle with respect to the x dash. with respect to x dash. Theta is equal to omega. If omega t is equal to 0, that means pi is equal to pi m. That means the conductor is exactly perpendicular. Then you will get maximum value of flux pi m. Right? Understood? So this is when the coil making an angle theta with respect to the x dash, flux linking with the coil pi is equal to pi m constant. Understood? And then according to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, E is equal to minus n into d by dt. So EMF is generated that is equal to is proportional to the changes in flux. Okay. The EMF generated E is nothing but proportional to the proportional to the changes in flux according to the Faraday's law. E is equal to minus n into d by dt. Okay, is proportional to changes in flux. So d by dt is nothing but changes in flux. Understood? So E is equal to minus n into d by dt. Here, pi is equal to pi m cos omega t. Here, pi is equal to pi m cos omega t. Substitute here, and then here minus means Lenz law. Minus means Lenz law. You know, well, Lenz law, according to the Lenz law, effect opposes the cause. Effect always opposes the cause according to the Lenz. That's why. So we have to take minus symbol. The minus symbol is because of effect opposes the cause. So negative opposes. Okay. The changes in flux is always opposite the EMF induced. Okay. So that's why E is minus n is proportional to minus n is equal to minus n into d by dt. Substitute here pi is equal to pi m sin omega t. Then you will get like this. E is equal to em sin omega. E is equal to minus n into pi m into minus sin omega t. So omega t constant. So omega. So n m omega into sin omega. Here em is called maximum value induced EMF. That is called n into pi m into omega is called em. Here where em is equal to n into pi m into omega. N is called number of turns of the coil. Pi m is called maximum value of flux. Here B is called flux density. Okay, and A is called cross sectional area. Pi is equal to magnetic flux density into cross sectional area of the conductor. Okay, pi is equal to Bm into A. So Bm becomes maximum flux density Weber per meter square, and A is called area of the coil meter square, and omega is equal to 2 pi f. Okay, remember this is very important. Omega is equal to 2 pi f. Okay, radius for sin for edges. Omega is equal to 2 pi f for edges. E is equal to m sin omega t. So this is the expression. E is equal to n into Bm into omega is equal to 2 pi f. Substitute here omega is equal to 2 pi f. Here in this equation, so we get n into Bm into A into 2 pi f sin omega. So like this. Understood? Similarly, an alternating current can be expressed as I is equal to Im sin omega. So alternating EMF Em sin omega t and alternating current is called I is equal to Im sin omega. Okay. So like this, here Im is called maximum volume of the current. This is clear. I think you understand. Thus, both the induced EMF and the induced current vary as the sine function of the phase angle omega t is equal to 0. Sine function. This is called sine function. So sine it's alternating. Okay, here you have to find the induced EMF at a particular instant. Okay. Thus, both the induced EMF and induced current vary as the sine function. So EMF is equal to E is equal to it's proportional to sine omega t. Now is also is proportional to sine omega t. That's why both EMF induced EMF and induced current vary as a function of sine function. Okay. So this from this diagram, you have North Pole and South Pole. This is called 90 degrees. Okay. So 0 degrees. Here 0 degrees or 360 degrees, 0.5 degrees. If the conductor is placed like this, that's called 0 degrees, 0.5 degrees, 90 degrees, or that way 180 degrees. The conductor is rotating in this direction, anti-clockwise direction. And between north and south pole, if the conductor is rotating anti-clockwise direction, then how the EMF is altered, EMF is changes. So here phase angle at omega t is equal to 0. Here at omega t is equal to 0. This is called omega t. So EMF versus omega t. Here omega t is equal to 0. At the instant of omega t is equal to 0. So what is the EMF? So substitute here omega t is equal to 0. Sin 0, 0. You know, sin 0, 0, and also the EMF is also 0 and the current is also 0. At omega t is equal to 0, current 0, and EMF is also 0. Okay. So EMF is 0, it's omega t is equal to 0, sin EMF induced in this conductor is also 0. So at this here, at this position, the EMF induced in the coil is equal to 0. At omega t is equal to 0. And then omega t is equal to 90 degrees, that's the maximum value of the flux. Okay. Here, maximum value of the flux, omega t is equal to maximum value of induced EMF, omega t is equal to 90 degrees. E is equal to EM. Sin 91, sin 0, 0, sin 91. That's right. E is equal to EM. And at omega t is equal to 180 degrees also 0. And omega t is equal to 270 degrees minus EM. Okay, like this. 0, 90, 180, and minus 270, and 360. So like this, when substituting these different type of angles, okay, the conductor position, the theta, that is called theta. When we are substituting this conducting angle, theta, so in this equation, so we will get like this. The EMF is in the changes like this, the same as a sine function. Okay. So this is just like alternating, this is called alternating induced EMF. This is clear. This is called alternating induced EMF. Then, so this is about how the EMF is generated. Okay, how the EMF is generated. And then let us discuss some definitions regarding AC cycles. Okay, some definitions are first. So what is meant by waveform? Some definitions regarding the AC cycles. So we have to know some definitions. So waveform. So these are the different types of waveforms. So not only sine waveform. So different types of waveforms are there. Sine waveform, scale waveform, triangular waveform. So this is called complex waveform. So it is defined as the graph between the magnitude of alternating quantity and y-axis against time is called, and x-axis is called waveform. Okay, defined as the graph between the magnitude of alternating quantity and y-axis. So alternating quantity, that is called voltage. Alternating here, this is called voltage, alternating quantity and y-axis, and time is called an x-axis. Okay, it is defined as the graph between magnitude of alternating quantity on y-axis and against the time and x-axis is called waveform. This is called a sine waveform. Okay, this is called amplitude. So voltage changes. Here 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. Like this, sine waveform changes. So scale waveform, so like this, triangular and complex wave. So these are the different type of waveforms. Okay, then so what is meant by cycle? So what is meant by cycle? So then next waveform is over, and then let's coming to the what is meant by cycle. It is defined as one complete set of positive, negative, and zero values of alternating quantity is called cycle. This is called one cycle. Here 0 to this here. So 0, positive, 0, negative, and 0. One complete set of positive, 0, negative is called one cycle. One complete set of positive here, 0 here, and negative. So this is called cycle. So here also one complete set of here positive, 0, and negative. Here is also positive, 0, negative. This is called cycle. So this is represented by cycle. To here, for example, here time t1. So 0 to t1 is called time period. That is called cycle. Time period of the cycle. 0 to t1. We are indicated here t1. This is called time period. So that is called time period of the cycle. Okay, that is called cycle. And then next instantaneous value. Instantaneous value. Okay, instantaneous value. It is defined as the value of alternating quantity at a particular instant of given time, generally denoted by small letters. Understood? At particular instant of time. Okay. So if you are finding the voltage at a particular instant of time, that is called instantaneous time voltage. It is defined as the value of alternating quantity at particular instant of given time. It's called instantaneous values, generally denoted by small letters. Okay, this instantaneous value. Instantaneous value of current, instantaneous values of voltage, and instantaneous values of power is denoted by small letters. It is defined as the value of an alternating quantity at particular instant of given time, generally denoted by small letters. I is called, for example, small I is called instantaneous value of current, and small v instantaneous value of voltage, and small p instantaneous value of power. Instantaneous value of current, small I is called instantaneous value of current, instantaneous value of voltage, and the instantaneous value of power. So small small letters, small letters are represented by instantaneous values. Okay, then come to the amplitude or peak value or crest value or max value. All means are same. Amplitude, peak value, crest value, or maximum value. Sometimes an example, so may ask find peak value. Okay. Find the crest value, find the maximum value. By giving one waveform, is asking. Okay, so find the peak value. Okay, find the crest value, find the maximum. Okay. So that means this names are different, but the concept is same. Amplitude or peak value or crest value or maximum value. So name is different, but concept is same. Don't confuse here. It is defined as the maximum value are either positive or negative, attained by an alternating quantity in one cycle, generally denoted by capital letters. Okay, generally denoted by capital letters. So, for example, pi is equal to pi m sin omega, I is equal to im sin omega, v is equal to vm sin omega. Okay, it is defined as the maximum value, either positive or negative, attained by an alternating quantity in one cycle, generally is denoted by capital letters. That I is equal, I am maximum value of current, I is equal to im sin omega t. So im is nothing but maximum value. V is equal to vm sin omega t. So vm is called maximum. P is equal to pm sin. P is equal to P vi. So we will like this. Pm sin omega t or Pm cos omega t is like this. Understood? So yeah, Im is called amplitude or peak value or crest value or maximum. So they denoted by capital letters. Instantaneous values are represented by small letters. Then average value. It is defined as the average of all instantaneous values of alternating quantities over a half cycle. Okay, it is defined as the average of all instantaneous values of alternating quantity over a half cycle is called average value. Understood? Only half cycle we have to consider. Okay, so half cycle means up to a year only. So here, this region, only half cycle. This is called average value. Understood? This is average. Only half cycle we have to take. So that is called average value. So and also in the form of instantaneous values. It is defined as the average of all instantaneous values of alternating quantity over a half cycle is called average value. So V average is equal to average value of voltage and I average is equal to average value of current. Okay, V average is nothing but average value of voltage and I average is average value of current. Okay, in example, you may ask like this: find the average value of current, find the average value of voltage by giving the waveforms, sinusoidal, scale, triangular, sawtooth, by giving the different type of waveforms. Okay, you may ask find the average value of voltage, find the average value of current. Okay, so like this. It is defined as the average of all instantaneous values of alternating quantity over a half cycle is called average value. Then RMS value. These definitions are very important. RMS value. It is the equivalent to DC current when it is equivalent to DC current which when flowing through the in a given circuit for a given time produces the same amount of heat produced by an alternating current when flowing through the same current for the same time. It's called RMS value. RMS is nothing but root mean scale. Root mean scale. So it is the equivalent DC current which when flowing through the given circuit for a given time produce the same amount of heat as produced by an alternating current when flowing through the same circuit for the same time is known as RMS value. So VRMS or IRMS. VRMS is nothing root to mean scale. Root means scale is known as RMS. Okay. So VRMS is called root means scale value of voltage. IRMS is nothing. IRMS is called root means scale value of current. Okay, this is about RMS. So average value, RMS value, amplitude or crest or peak value, maximum value. These three definitions are so very important. So we have to find this by using B forms. We have to find maximum value or average value, RMS value. So then frequency. So what is meant by frequency? It is defined as the number of cycles completed by an alternating quantity per second is called frequency. The units of the frequency is called Hz. The units of the frequency is called Hz. It is defined as the number of cycles completed by an alternating quantity per second. Okay, symbol is denoted by F. Okay, symbol of the frequency is nothing but small f. Units are Hz. Okay, unit is Hz. Frequency, it is defined as the number of cycles completed by an alternating quantity. You know well cycle. What is meant by cycle? Yeah? It is defined as the number of cycles completed by an alternating quantity per second. Symbol is frequency is F and units are Hz. So frequency units are Hz. So generally our Indian frequency is 50 Hz. Indian standard frequency 50 Hz. Okay, this is called constant. 50 Hz is the Indian standard frequency. For other countries, it's maintained different values, different level of frequencies. For Australia, for example, Australia 60 Hz, they are maintained 60 Hz, 60 Hz. Okay, but in India, our Indian standard frequency is 50 Hz. Okay, our all devices, fans, okay, TVs. So all our AC circuits. Machines, all are operating AC machines, transfer tubes, all are operating at 50 Hz standard frequency, 50 Hz one. Okay. So then time period, coming to the time period definition, it is defined as the time taken to complete one cycle. It's called time period. Symbol is called T, units is seconds. Okay, it is defined as the time taken to complete one cycle. And the symbol is T and the units is called seconds. What is the time period? Okay, then power factor, it is defined as the cosine of angle between the voltage and current. It is also one of the important concepts. Power factor is also one of the important concepts. So it is defined as the cosine of angle between voltage and current is called power factor. Power factor is equal to cos phi. Understood? Power factor is nothing but cosine of angle between voltage and current. Okay, power factor is equal to cos phi. Angle between voltage and current. Okay, angle between voltage and current. Pi is called angle between voltage and current. It is defined as the cosine of angle between voltage and current is called power factor. Stay understood. Then coming to the active power. It is the actual power consumed by any circuit. Active power is nothing but it is the actual power consumed by any circuit. It is given by the product of RMS voltage and RMS current, and cosine of angle between voltage and current is called active power. That is called VI cos phi. Okay, it is given by the product of RMS voltage and RMS current, and cosine of angle between voltage and current. V into I into cos phi. Pi is the angle between voltage and current. It's clear, understood? It is the actual power consumed by any circuit. It is given by product of RMS voltage and RMS current, and the cosine of angle between voltage and current is called VI cos. Active power is equal to VI cos phi. P is equal to VI cos phi. And then, okay, if I square into all, you know, well, power is equal to I square R, power is equal to V square by R. You already studied in the first unit, the power is equal to I square R. Power is equal to V square by R. Right? Active, that is called active power. So active power is units are watts. Unit is watts. Okay, or kilowatts. For small machines, watts. For large machines, so we have to represent it in kilowatts. Understand? So this is called active power. Okay. It is given by the product of RMS voltage. It's called VRMS into IRMS into cos pi. Okay, so like this. That is called active power, and then reactive power. So what is meant by reactive power? Reactive power. The power drawn by the circuit due to reactive component of the current is called reactive power. The power drawn by the circuit due to reactive component of current is called reactive power. The power drawn by the circuit due to reactive component of current is called reactive power. So this is because of inductance. Okay, this is because of coil. This power because of coil, so inductance effect. Okay, the power drawn by the circuit due to the reactive component of current is called as reactive power. It is given by the product of RMS voltage and RMS current and a single angle between sine of angle between voltage and current. Okay, VA is sine pi. Active power is nothing but VA cos pi. Cosine of angle between voltage and current. VA cos pi for active power. For active power, VA cos pi. For reactive power, VA sine pi. The power drawn by the circuit due to an reactive component of current is called reactive power. It is given by the product of RMS voltage and RMS current and sine of angle between voltage and current. But in active power, sine of cos of angle between voltage and current. VA cos pi in active power, reactive power is nothing so VA sine pi. Okay, reactive power is equal to, so it denoted by capital Q. Active power is denoted by capital P. Understood? Active power is denoted by capital P. Reactive power is denoted by capital Q. That is called I square into X. So this is called X is called reactance component, reactive component. Okay, so that is called for inductor, for capacitor. Okay, because of capacitor, because of inductor, so the reactive component coming to the picture. So because of that, the reactive power takes place. Power drawn by the circuit due to the reactive component of current is called reactive power. It is given by the product of RMS voltage and RMS current and sine of angle between voltage and current is called reactive power. That is equal to reactive power is equal to Q is equal to I square into X. That is called VI sine pi. Units are var or kilo. VAR. Okay. Units are nothing but volt ampere reactive. VAR is nothing but volt ampere reactive or kilovolt ampere reactive. Understood? Volt ampere reactive or kilovolt ampere reactive. So reactive power units. Okay. So the next apparent power. Apparent power. It is the product of RMS value of voltage and current. Current that is called VRMS and IRMS. It is the product of RMS value of voltage and RMS value of current. It's called apparent. It is the total power supplied by to the circuit. So it is denoted by S. So apparent power is denoted by capital S. Understood? It is the product of RMS value of voltage and RMS value of current. This total power is supplied to the circuit. The apparent power S is equal to V into I. So denoted by apparent S. The apparent power is denoted by S. That is equal to V into I. Units is nothing but VA or kilovolt ampere. Units are volt amperes or kilovolt amperes. KVA, nothing but rating order. Okay, this is called one of the rating of the devices. For example, transformer. The transformer rating is denoted by KVA, kilovolt ampere. Transformer rating is nothing but kilovolt ampere. Okay, so for small transformers, volt ampere. For large transformers, within the kilovolt. This KVA is the rating of the transformer. So generally, so this is called apparent power. So transformer rating is indicated by apparent power. Understood? So units is called volt ampere or kilovolt. And then next peak factor or crest factor. Okay, peak factor or crest factor. It is defined as the ratio of peak value or crest value or maximum value. You know, well, peak value, crest value, maximum value, or amplitude. Right? I'm already explained peak value, amplitude value, maximum value, amplitude, peak value. Okay. It is defined as the ratio of peak value or crest value or maximum value to the RMS value of an alternating point is nothing but crest factor or peak factor. It is defined as the ratio of peak value to the RMS value. Peak value to the RMS value is nothing but peak factor or crest factor. So that is called peak factor Kp is that is called generally 1.414. That is called root 2. Root 2 is equal to 1.414. So that's called sine wave. For sine wave, crest factor, peak factor is nothing but 1.414. Understood? Then next coming to the form factor, time factor. It is defined as the ratio of RMS value of average value of an alternating quantity. It is defined as the ratio of RMS value of an alternating quantity. Okay, denoted by K. Ratio of RMS value to the average value. Time factor is nothing but RMS value by average value. By finding the RMS value or by finding the average value and taking the ratio of RMS value to the average value, so we get form factor. Form factor is nothing but the ratio of RMS value to the average value. It's denoted by Kf. Okay, form factor Kf is equal to 1.11 times. For sine waveform, 1.11. Form factor 1.11. Maybe for a 2 marks question or 1 marks question, so we get mid exam or external. Okay, form factor is equal to 1.11. Understand? So phase difference. So we have to discuss only this concept. So today, phase difference. It is defined as the angular displacement between two zero values or two maximum values of the two alternating quantities having same frequency is called a phase difference. It's clear, understood? It is defined as the angular displacement between two zero values or two maximum values of the two alternating quantities having same frequency is called phase difference. Phase difference. It is defined as angular displacement between two zero values or two maximum values of the two alternating quantity having same frequency. Okay, so this is called one alternating quantity, this is another alternating quantity, this is called another alternating. Okay, three different types of alternating quantities. Okay, but same frequency. The frequencies of this alternating one is called same frequency. Here omega is nothing but frequency. Omega is equal to 2 pi f. Here omega t. Here also omega t. Here also omega t. That is nothing but frequency is constant. Okay, it is defined as the angular displacement between two zero values of two maximum values of the two alternating quantities having same frequency. It's called a phase difference. Here, this alternating quantity is starting from zero now. Zero onwards. It is starting from zero onwards. Okay, starting from zero onwards. So by taking this phase, this is called a reference. By taking this as called as reference, and we have to indicate so VRT. So here VRT is equal to Vm sin omega t plus zero. Angle is zero. No? So that's why VRT is equal to Vm sin omega t plus zero. Okay, this called phase difference here 0. Okay, by taking this as a reference. Okay, and then so this is a waveform is already started before 0. The waveform is started. That is called this waveform is under leading condition. So leading. Okay, this waveform is a leading. Okay, that's why the angle so leads the angle by some pi degrees. Okay. Waveform is already started before the time t is equal to 0. Okay, that means some amount of EMF already is there in the coil. Okay, so that is called so that because of that, so we'll get some phase difference. That is called pi flux pi. So this is our angle, not flux. This is called angle pi. Okay, pi is equal to 0. So we have T is equal to Vm sin negative plus. So here some angle. So the waveform leads by some angle pi. So that's why omega t is plus pi. We have T is equal to Vm sin negative plus. Here waveform is so delayed by some angle pi. That's why we have T is equal to Vm sin omega t minus pi. Here negative value, negative phase, here positive phase. That is called V of T is equal to Vm sin omega t plus pi. Then we have T is equal to Vm sin omega t minus pi. This is called negative phase. This is called positive phase. In phase. Okay. The two waveforms are angle between the two waveforms is equal to pi is equal to 0, then it's called in phase. Okay, if the angle between the voltage two waveforms is called positive, then it's called positive phase, and the waveform, the angle between two waveforms is difference. The angle between these two, okay, in phase two and the negative phase, the angle between these two is called phi naught. So that's why we have to use the Vm sin minus. So this is our today's lecture. So we will discuss the remaining concept.